Is Pattaya worth visiting if you don't drink alcohol? That is the question. Well, I've spent the last 6 weeks here and I haven't drank a sip of alcohol. I don't drink myself. Past few years I haven't drank. Just have a problem digesting alcohol. Causes me a lot of issues, so I don't use it. But Pattaya is a big drinking town, big party town, you know. I mean, it's a beach town and it's pretty close to Bangkok. So you get a lot of people living here for that reason. So it's not like it's strictly party people. It's not strictly party tourists. You get a mix for sure. A lot of the locals, of course, too, are drinking, love alcohol. I mean, Thailand is like quite a big drinking culture to begin with. I think Pattaya just takes it up like another notch, you know. That's kind of a big part of the city, you know. It's a nightlife town. And yeah, so it's like people love to drink, naturally. I mean, people aren't really using drugs too much here. And so naturally people are going to be drinking. That's the thing, drinking and smoking. That's the combo. But yeah, I haven't drank anything. I've been out a few times. You know, now there is legal weed here, so there is like a good alternative to drinking. And a lot of people I've spoken to here who are here long term and who have had issues with alcohol in the past, especially since living here. You know, sometimes these people don't have such an issue in their home country even. But being here, you know, something about it, I guess, you know, rubs off on you from being around it. There's a lot of drawl. There's a lot of like, yeah, just needing to manage your own cravings to do those things, you know. Can't find the words for it. Yeah, whatever it is, like those triggers, those things, like maybe being around it and being around so many bars and clubs, that kind of thing sets people off to drink. Just maybe walking on the beach and seeing people chilling, having a beer. Yeah, I could see that setting a lot of people off who are really into alcohol. You know, me, I'm much more into cannabis. And so, you know, if I'm trying not to smoke, or if I'm not smoking and I smell it or see people using it, enjoying it, it's like, you know, it's not ideal. It definitely creates an issue in the brain. So yeah, I get it on that front. But you know, there is a community of people here as well who are much more health focused and like fitness focused, and maybe don't drink at all, or they balance, you know, a little bit of drinking with their like heavy gym and fitness routines, which I think is great. That's fine, you know, if you're able to balance it and still be like top performing athletic shape and stuff, that's great. That's difficult. But yeah, I think it's still quite worth it to visit Pattaya, to live in Pattaya, whether you drink or not. Maybe that will change person to person, depending on what you actually do like to do then, and you know, what hobbies you have, what you need to be happy in your town, in your area that you live. For me, I think I get a lot of happiness from just having good weather and the beach, having a motorbike to drive around and easy access to everything. You know, things I need on a day-to-day basis. Food, good food and groceries. Yeah, so convenience and what I feel is a high quality of life for a small amount of money. I mean, those things alone, if you just don't even think about alcohol in the equation, that's enough to live here and to enjoy it here, you know, for me. Now, there's probably nicer places, like people tell me Phuket, it's nicer, the beaches are nicer. You know, maybe islands, stuff like that, a little bit nicer beaches. But everything's gonna have drawbacks. Phuket, you're gonna pay a lot more money. If you're living on an island, then you're not going to have the same level of access to things, the same accessibility to quality food and everything, like gyms, whatever it is. So there's always a trade-off. I think Pattaya has a good balance of being kind of city-like, but also being beachside, being cheap. And I don't think that the tourists here are as bad as a lot of people like to say and make out. I think a lot of the hate towards Pattaya and the people that come here is from people who haven't been here or haven't really spent much time here. People who kind of just judge a book by its cover and things they see online. Stuff like that. But personally, after spending time here, after spending the last month and a half here, and having spent a few other months here at a time or more, got to press the crosswalk sign or it just doesn't ever turn green. So yeah, it's such an easy day-to-day life here, such a easy, high quality of life for little money. I mean, coming from America, it's crazy, I think the most similar thing you could get price-wise for the same quality of life in Thailand would be somewhere like Chiang Mai, and it's just such a completely different lifestyle. You're surrounded by nature and mountains and not the beach, and it's going to be a whole different set of people there, So I think it just depends what you want. For me right now, Pattaya works good. I'm not based here permanently, so I just kind of come in for like stints of 1 month, 2 months, and I'm traveling around a bit. So I'm not setting like a permanent home base at the moment, but I wouldn't really hesitate if I was choosing somewhere to choose Pattaya. But I haven't been to Chiang Mai, haven't been to Phuket, haven't been a lot of other places, but yeah, after spending so much time here, I really like it. It's comfortable. Now it feels familiar. So yeah, I enjoy it. It gets a bad rap and has a weird stigma around it, but a lot of that is BS, to be honest. Pattaya is what you make of it. It's what you want it to be. You come and you kind of do your thing. You do what you want to do. You can avoid all the stuff that you don't like. You can avoid girly bars if that's what you want to do. Avoid drinking if that's what you want to do. Or you can partake if you want. And I think both ways can enjoy it equally. There's enough for both types of people. I've actually looked into staying in other areas, other provinces, like specifically Phuket, Koh Chang, Koh Phangan. I looked into renting a place in these places because I wanted to change it up. I've been renting 1 week Airbnb at a time in Pattaya, and I thought, okay, let's change it up. Let's go somewhere else. And you just can't get the same kind of price on your accommodation. It's so much more expensive. For example, if I want to rent a condo in Pattaya, an Airbnb, I can get it for about $130 to $150 US for 1 week. And in Phuket, there's just not even too many accommodations available. It's more difficult to even find one. But if you really hike up your budget on Airbnb, then you can find something maybe $350 US per week, $300 US per week. You can get something decent, for the same quality, pretty much. And so, in my opinion, I just decided it's not worth it. It's not worth that extra spend. Now, I will do it eventually to try these places out, and especially if I can get a better deal on a place. Usually the monthly accommodations is where you can get a bit better of a deal. But I was just having more trouble finding accommodations in Phuket. in Kopangan, Koh Chang. Like it, I think there's more, I won't say there's more tourism there, but like they're getting packed. These places are pretty busy at the moment. And even though Pattaya is too, Pattaya has like a crazy amount of condos. So many rooms in a lot of these buildings. It's just impossible for them to actually fill it up, you know? So there's always condos available. And since Airbnb is illegal here, especially for short stays, it's a no-no. It's easier for them to do it in Pattaya than some other places. A lot of these buildings just don't necessarily care, or they just kind of look the other way. So yeah, that's the thing. That's the main reason I'm staying here, and that I haven't like moved around a bit. I also love it here. You know, I love staying in Pattaya, but I think it's nice to travel around to some different areas, especially for the sake of YouTube. I'd like to move around. So this is my last weekend in Pattaya right now. I was planning to leave 2 other times, and I ended up just staying because of the convenience of having a super cheap weekly rental and not needing to go too far with all of my luggage, which now I've secured a locker, a storage for all of my bags. So I will be much more mobile going forward. Plan on traveling around with just a backpack. So yeah, I'll be moving around a lot, but if I didn't need to, if I didn't have the YouTube channel, and I could just kind of focus on myself, my health, and have a nice day-to-day life, I would stay in Pattaya for a while. You know, I would take maybe a weekend trip to Phuket, to Koh Chang, check it out, change up the environment, but I would ultimately stay in Pattaya, just because of what you get for the money. It's, you know, a little too good to be true almost. So you kind of get accustomed to that, and then, yeah, it's not easy to then pay more for less, you know. That's kind of why I left New York City and decided to come here. It's like I used to come here and I'd go back to New York and I then have to spend 10 times the amount, and I'm like, this doesn't feel good. And so same thing, like if I have to spend double in Phuket, 1.5 times the amount, it better be significantly better. So let's see, you know, maybe I'm speaking too soon because I haven't even been to these places. And I'm just using Phuket as an example because it's like, you know, the most famous beachside area, tourist area in Thailand, you know. Now, when I say Pattaya, of course, I always include Jomtien in that as well. I just kind of use the word Pattaya most of the time. But I would say if you're a non-drinker, you're more than likely going to want to stay in Jomtien, maybe even in Na Jomtien, you know, far down this way. Just because there's less bars, you know, at some point, like little to no bars, and, you know, a more peaceful atmosphere, more quiet atmosphere. I assume a lot of people who don't drink are looking for a more quiet atmosphere in general, day to day, and, you know, just in their condo, like walking around. So yeah, I thought Na Jomtien was great, really great. However, I do prefer it over here a little bit. As long as you're not on a street with a bunch of bars, I think being at the beginning of Jomtien provides just better access to everything, especially when you have a motorbike. I mean, you have better walking access, but you also have better access with a motorbike to get to Central Pattaya, Pratamnak, get to Pattaya Beach. It just makes it that much easier. Na Jomtien, you're like a little ways down no matter where you want to go. So I think it's nice that it's more quiet. You get that, but the trade-off is you will find yourself taking a lot more motorbike rides, much longer distances. So, and you'll probably end up in Central Pattaya much less. you'll probably be scheduling your trips to certain stores and stuff like that instead of being so spontaneous like you can be over here. But it's also not that much further, you know, it's just an extra 10 minutes to everything. But to me, that adds up. You know, same way being 10 extra minutes from the beach by walking, or even 5, is like a big deal. And over time, you'll really start to think about that. And so, yeah, I think staying beachfront as well is like ideal in Pattaya. You know, especially if you don't have a motorbike, you have to get something that's beachfront. Yeah, you don't want to be a 10, 15, 20 minute walk from the beach. I don't, at least. I like being close. I can come over right here. I can walk all along Jomtien Beach, and I can get some exercise every single day. You know, it makes it much harder to do that if you're further away. Even if you think it will be easy, it's just annoying because then you have all this extra walking time just to get to the beach, and you're not going to have as long of a walk on the beach walk, you know. So yeah, get something beachfront, or get yourself a motorbike and stay still pretty close to the beach. I think that's the way to do Pattaya. You know, especially as a non-drinker, it's like you want to spend your days in the sun, going to the pool, chilling by the beach, going for walks, exercising. You can still engage in nightlife. You can still go out and just not drink. You probably just won't do it as frequently. You know, it's still fun for me to do sometimes, just not very frequently. Especially if I have friends here visiting, or you know, I meet a group of friends and they're going out or something. I'll tag along and I'll just drink water. I don't really care. I have weed as well, so it gives me something. It gives me, I mean, without that, I'm even less prone to go out. But with that, it gives me a little something to, yeah, like a little kick. So I think now that weed is here, this question of like, is Pattaya worth it without alcohol? It changes it a little bit, you know, because it's like you actually have something. You have something even you could use every day or every evening to relax, that if you're not a drinker, that you won't have. So yeah, I think Pattaya is a great place. It doesn't really matter if you drink or not. Truly. This goes for anywhere else in Thailand too. Definitely. I just happen to be in Pattaya, so you know, it's what I'm familiar with. I have the most context for it, and I can say wholeheartedly for sure, yeah, living here or traveling here as a non-drinker is great. You're going to enjoy yourself, and you're going to meet other people who are in a similar boat or just have a similar mindset, also don't drink. They're here, and I meet them regularly, especially when it gets brought up. Yeah, so it's cool. There's a lot of you in the comments too who have been telling me like that you don't drink. Some people who live here for 10 years, 15 years, and so that's really cool. Yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about Pattaya in general? Have you been here? Have you spent time in Pattaya? Yeah, since my last weekend here, I might go out and enjoy myself a little bit. I'm not gonna drink, but you know, I might hit some of the popular spots. Why not? I won't be back for a little while, so yeah, I want to know, do you go out when you come here? Are you heavy into the nightlife? Is booze one of the biggest driving factors of fun for you in Pattaya, or do you also enjoy the other parts of it? I'd love to hear it, so let me know in the comments, folks. Now, in terms of the nightlife, I do think, of course, it revolves around drinking here for the most part. Of course, the girly bars as well. I mean, that's kind of what the nightlife scene is in Pattaya. But I say drinking is pretty much the nightlife, or, you know, fuels the whole nightlife, mostly in any city, drugs and alcohol. So at the end of the day, I mean, it's going to be the same anywhere for you if you are a non-drinker. And I find that here, I can go out to the clubs, like on Walking Street, for example. They have some like pretty late clubs till 7 a.m. or so. They have after hours. And I can still do it occasionally and enjoy myself, but it's not something like I want to do regularly. I think if I did drink, I think it's something I could find myself doing all the time, you know? I think, yeah, then it would be very easy to do that all the time. It'd be fun, you know? It's very easy to have fun when you're drinking. It can help you go out and have a good time versus having a boring night. And so most of the time I choose not to go out. I've learned for myself when it's worth to go out, you know, either having friends visiting in town or I think outside of Pattaya, I think in Bangkok, I'm much more prone to going out. Both with friends to like dinner kind of places and also like nightlife, clubbing. I can have a better time there with it. That's just me. I don't think that has to do with drinking so much. That's just kind of like my preference. But I do think like in Bangkok, there's more fun to be had in the nightlife, in the parties, even without drinking. There's more interesting things. It's more exciting. It's just culturally stronger in that way. Where here, again, it's more focused around the girls kind of thing. And so it's different. And so I think for me, it does leave something to be desired with nightlife here as a non-drinker. And so, I just don't go out much. It does save me money. You know, I don't necessarily get bored, but I do sometimes wish that I had, like a few other outlets to go enjoy myself, like social settings, you know. So it can definitely isolate you a little bit more if you're a non-drinker. You know, it takes a lot of the like meetups, the casual meetups with dating away, or makes it more difficult. And just like meeting up with friends for a few drinks, it doesn't really happen. You know, I'm introverted, but I'm more likely to stay to myself because alcohol is at the forefront of most social gatherings in Thailand, and in most places, for sure in America as well. I think I had even more of an issue in America with it, where drinking was at the forefront of the hangout, and people don't react weird if I'm not drinking. It's just like, I think here I find that women with dating are more accepting of me like not drinking. They just don't care, even if they're drinkers. And people here in general, I think they either care a little bit less about it or they even respect it a little bit, versus in America, people immediately are like, that's weird. Oh, that sucks, that's weird. That's just like my observation with it. But it's a little more isolating, of course. It definitely makes it easier to get out there, make friends, and just like hang out with friends more often if you're a drinker, you know. That's how it is. It's a great restaurant here, Mr. Moo. I've actually ordered from that restaurant quite a few times, on Grab or on Line Man. Great restaurant, really good place. Bunch of good Thai food, bunch of good, interesting, unique Thai dishes as well. It's a good place, really good place. Consistent too. A lot of good food here, I would say. It's not as good as Bangkok. It's not as good as New York City, but the food is still good here. I think when I was first coming here, I was less excited with it. But now after really trying a ton of places, I realize it's just there's more, it's like hit or miss, you know. There's more bad places as well. So you really have to try places, find the places that are good, and stick to them, you know. The quality really does differ a lot with Thai food, and some of these smaller, like, you know, stalls or mom and pop Thai places, the flavors and quality are very different across them. So I think in Bangkok they're serving more Thai people more often, places are like made for locals and stuff. And here, a lot more places which are just, sorry, I'm sweating profusely. My hair's blowing all over the place. Yeah, here they're serving more tourists, like expat only, tourist only style spots where like very few Thai people are going. And then there's the spots where it is like just locals, usually further away from Jom Tien or further away from the beach, further away from the main tourist points, you know. But food is still good, and you can still find both good Thai food and good Western food. It's pretty accessible too. Definitely some good options on Grab. So yeah, no complaints about the food here. That's important. I mean, if you're not enjoying booze, you need some type of pleasure. You need some source of dopamine and enjoyment. And food is like the next thing. That's why in like Malaysia, you know, because of the religion, so many non-drinkers, like food is so big there. You know, pretty much everyone just gets together and eats. They don't drink, they just indulge in food. And so, yeah, you need not vices, but in this case, like some sources of pleasure and enjoyment. And food is a big one. If you're not a drinker, food, I think, takes the number one spot, right? Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.